way to think about where we need to go from here, starting in this place, and as you go forward today and tomorrow to Congress and to the World Bank. A dozen years ago, there were no programs to help poor people to stay alive from a disease which was an automatic killer, but for the discovery of the antiretroviral medicines in the 1990s. I was myself completely puzzled by all of this. It took me many years to even understand the unbelievable gap between high rhetoric and hand-wringing on the one side and the absence of any real action on the other. I got into this story not because I'm a public health specialist, but because as a macroeconomist arriving in an AIDS-impacted country, Zambia, in the middle of the 1990s, I suddenly learned that 7 of our 30 team members in the Zambian government had died recently of AIDS. And I was so puzzled by it. What do you mean, died? What happened? Well, they went back to their village and died. I said, what do you mean they went back to their village? What about the medical treatment? And I was stared at as if I had come from another planet. I had merely come from the United States. But I didn't understand. No, here people don't go to the doctor. They go home to their village to die. And it took me about 3 years to cut through the verbiage of Washington to understand that while there was a lot of hand-wringing and there was a White House this and there was a World Bank that, we were doing absolutely nothing, actually, to keep people alive. And an epiphany for me was flying to this conference now, but 12 years ago when it took place in Durban, the International AIDS Conference in 2000 in Durban. And I was reading the issue of Science magazine, which had a special section about AIDS in it, sitting next to my wife, and she saw I was getting more and more agitated. I said, Jeff, what's going on? I said, you have to read this article. Am I right? But it looks like the World Bank's article about AIDS for the 2000 conference doesn't mention the word antiretroviral in it. It mentions bereavement training. It mentions the need to hire extra workers when your workforce dies. But it didn't mention the idea that maybe the world should be helping to keep Africans alive rather than to train for bereavement when they die. So my wife read it. She's a good reader and a medical doctor. She said, no, don't see the word. I got off the plane really steamed, I have to tell you. And I marched into a room like this, and I had written a PowerPoint in the traffic, and I put it up and I said, we need a global fund to fight AIDS because the World Bank isn't doing it. And I had several slides about the World Bank there, which were not so generous about how the current system was working. Well, to cut a long story short, I was at that point heading a commission for the World Health Organization. And when I got back to Geneva that next Monday morning, I had a message that I should go up to the top floor to see the Director General, the head of the WHO, Drew Harlow Brundtland. And she's a very amazing, great world leader, as I hope you know, one of the world's greatest people who brought sustainable development really to the whole world concept. And she called me into the office. It was always a little bit imposing. Said, Jeffrey? Yes. Did you give a speech last week? And yes. About AIDS? Yeah. Did you mention the World Bank? And I said, yes. True, I did. She said, well, I got a call from very senior World Bank official this morning, not so happy about the speech. I said, oh, and then a big smile. She said, keep doing it.